In the meditation, you mentioned the master of the mind. Could you say a little more about?
Yeah. In life, we learn, right? We have various experiences. We learn about unhappiness, how the mind operates. We learn about the tendencies to defend, to blame, to accuse, to resist. What is it that learns? What is it that grows and matures? What is it that understands? I understand. I understand that inner argumentation, resisting, arguing, defending, justifying, that all of that is pretty miserable. And if we don't come to the understanding about our own misery, then it just goes on and on. We understand the mechanism. This process of defending an old reflex which we've inherited at some point in our youth, to accuse, to blame, to get into our negative emotions, to get angry. In maturity, we learn, we grow that all this misery is our own mind doing what it's been trained to do. And that it's not leading us towards any peace, any happiness. So always finding a new argument, a new reason to disagree, to justify oneself, to aggrandize oneself, to demean the other, defend one's tribe and one's clan. There is a learning and a decision that, okay, that's not the direction I want to go. But I'm not interested in projecting an image to myself or others. I'm not interested in maintaining images of others. I'm not interested in projecting other people's thoughts about myself and worrying about them and being concerned about them. And not interested in unhappiness. There's a maturity in that understanding. And then it's up to me to explore the path of happiness. It could be as simple as not feeding the unhappiness, not maintaining the process, not maintaining these tendencies deciding to grow up, to stop playing the game of poor me, the victim, separate me. So that the mind is altered by your understanding and your interest in peace and happiness, not in maintaining the duality, maintaining the sense of separation, maintaining the good me and the bad other. So when the mind quiets down, then what comes to the forefront is you as presence, you as awareness, you as this peace, the formless self. We get a taste of that. We realize how wonderful, how sweet that is, and but it's our very self. It's always available to us here, right there. That it is that which invites the mind to silence, to stillness. So stillness is the master of the mind. Peace and a loving heart.
I can observe how my suffering, my unhappiness, is often related just to this idea of wanting to be someone.
Yeah. As soon as we limit ourselves as someone, no matter how grandiose, it's a limitation, it's unhappy. There's a pride, ego, the sense of physicality, personhood. The mind gets excited. It has something to do. It can now project that, defend that, and polish that. And let me see how I can show my good face, you know. In being no one, you are everyone and everything. It's being, beingness. That's the awakened self.
So in a way, I allow myself willingly to disappoint my own expectation. This was very complicated, sorry.
You don't need any expectation. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe some practical, of course, you know, in order to maneuver the body mind, you know, we engage in certain activities, of course, and there are some expectations and direction, but psychologically, we are more interested in freedom, not in expectation. So yeah, I mean, not, you don't need to disappoint them, just drop them. You drop them in the moment psychologically. The me, you know, the, the me expectations that pertain to ignorance, to unhappiness. You don't need those. You're practicing the piano, you're expecting to get better at it. Okay, I mean, that's fine. Everything with a grain of salt, right?
Yes. Thank you, Magdi. It's just sometimes I observe suddenly in the background that there was an expectation that created my unhappiness. Like I should be different. I shouldn't be this way. Or,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's good to notice that because you're learning about the mind, you know.
Yeah.
You're seeing how the mind is trying to trick you into unhappiness.
Yeah.
So you see that, that's very good. And when you see the thief, it's no longer a thief. It's out in the light. It's sufficient to see it. You don't have to uh, blame yourself or just your interest. You're interested in peace. So because you're interested in peace, all those thieves hiding behind the rocks are gonna be revealed because they want to disturb the peace, you see. So they see that you're not interested in them. So they pop out. They say, hey, here I am, here I am.
It's it's like a masterpiece and like kindergarten at the same time sometimes.
Yeah, well, we graduate from the kindergarten. We're not interested in the kindergarten. We graduate from it. So we remain with the peace. We're interested in the peace. Not in the games of the kindergarten.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Maggie, quick question here. Yeah, I really enjoyed hearing you and Holger, a little discussion. I wonder sometimes if, because I know my mind gets so involved in trying to fix problems, like you were talking about worrying. That's been one of my major hobbies, is worrying about people as a way to maybe try to control things, and maybe hopefully that'll do something. So that's all the mind's trying to do its thing. And I notice there are times when I don't want to let go of that, because there seems to be a sense of that I'm being selfish. If I let go of the mind, if I let go of manifestation in general, if I go stay with the noumenon, I'm abandoning everybody, abandoning the world, abandoning my loved ones. But here's the question I have for you: is if we let go of that completely, because that's the mind, like you were just saying, the mind comes in with all these different arguments to try to get you, to hook you in. So if you let that go, does the noumenon just bring everything up to its right level? If there's a problem and we don't go into the mind to try to fix it, does the noumenon fix the problem itself?
Absolutely. It may not fix it the way the mind is saying it should be. So there is the microscopic and the macroscopic view. From the microscopic view, the mind wants, oh, I want this, that. But God wants peace and love and happiness for all. God wants bounty, abundance, joy, celebration for all. So yes, absolutely. When you go to the casino and the winning number is 21 red over and over, you know that's the winning number. It's all rigged. 21 red is, and every now and then the casino lets you go to 14 green or black or whatever. Every now and then, once in a blue moon. Knowing that, do you go to the casino and wouldn't you place your money on 21 red? Wouldn't you place the money on that which you know you have the inner scoop? You have the inner scoop about the winning number. You will go and you will play like Mr. Cool, or I don't know anything. Which number am I gonna? But you know it's 21 red, and that's where you're gonna put your money, because you know you're gonna win. Yeah, 99% of the time you're gonna win, because 1% of the time the casino plays a random number. So that's how it is. What is it that you know that is the winning card? Is it God, or is it your personal mind? Is it reality? Is it truth? Is it consciousness? Is it this magical, universal beingness? Or is it your personal conditioned mind, traumatized mind, the mind that grew, inherited your parents and your grandparents and your schoolmates and teachers, inherited all the garbage which has fear and worry and concern. And, oh my God, what should I do? Am I going to fail? Am I succeeding? What's going to happen if I don't stand by the post, defending and arguing? What if I don't prove myself to the world, to my family, to all that garbage is already there. It's operating. So when we worry, oh my goodness, if I trust the universe, will it fail? Am I being selfish in trusting peace and happiness and freedom? And trust, you can trust that which you can count on. So you become wise about how the mind operates. It's always operating in worries and concerns and hesitance and fear. Worrying, as you said. There's no happiness in worrying. So you need to remove all these weeds from your mind. If there is no happiness in you, how can your actions, your thoughts, your behavior lead to happiness? You have to remove those weeds from within you. In other words, don't be guided by that. Don't be guided by the conditioned mind. Trust God, trust your understanding, which is it's so mature. Your understanding is so it's there. Your understanding about being, about presence, about awareness, beyond the me is right there. It's there. It's yours. Trust that. Trust that. And when does thoughts arise that about worries and concern and self-judgment, or you can see them for what they are, because you've seen them before. You know now. You're the master of your mind. You know now. You know how it works. You see it happening in your body, in your feelings and sensations, and you see it in your mind. You see it. You see, the master is there. That which perceives, that which sees is there. Right? So you see, you understand. Always go to the master, the higher consciousness.
Yeah. I think do we not know this as kids? I remember as a kid, there was a sense of flow to my life. I never had a worry. I mean, of course, I had parents that were taking care of the big things, but in general, life just flowed because I had this trust in this loving God at that point, in my limited way. Today, I don't have those same beliefs. It's a very different type of God, let's say, but it really is a question of, it's just about letting go, but it's not really letting go from a position of being a separate self. You just know that you're part of that oneness, and just going back to that and letting go of all the machinations of the mind. Yes. Letting go of all that and just trusting in that, whatever we want to call it, that it'll just work itself up to the highest that it can go, right?
Absolutely. You have to do your work, in terms of whenever these tendencies arise, not to get on board, the tendencies of worry, of concern, not to get on board. Yes, always to be open and accepting and allowing, and just not holding any positions, not holding any images of others, how things should be. Children
No labels, nothing. Don't put anything in the boxes. No labels. Just let go of all the concepts, all that stuff, and just be open to the reality. Right.
Completely let go of the psychology. The body mind is already conditioned for survival and procreation. It's done. It's done. It's already done deal. This mechanism of survival and procreation and taking care of the body mind, knowing, of course, that the body mind is on a time clock, it's already there. It's already there operating. So that you don't need to, you can let that go. But the psychology, the me, the defending the me, worry about me, my identity, my tribe, my family, my money, my worries, all of that is unhappy. So you don't water the unhappiness. You don't go in the garden and you water the weeds. You water the rose.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, Maggie.
Yes, as you said, children. Oh God, they're so beautiful.
Yeah.
Love children.
Yeah.
They're like they're so innocent, so pure, so trust. Yeah. The other day I was walking with Tara. It was yesterday. And this little boy, he's with his mom and dad, and there was a plane. He was looking up. He was maybe, I don't know, 2 years old, 2.5 years old, whatever. Looking at and I looked at the sky with him, and I said, "Oh, beautiful plane!" And yeah, he just walked to me and he held my leg. I caressed his head. You know, he was so beautiful, so innocent, so fresh.
Thanks, Maggie. Appreciate it.
Hello, Magdi.
Hello.
I have a question for you. Every time I'm meditating, I try to be the observer and listen to the mind and try to see how different I am from the mind. But then every time when I'm listening to it, I feel like it's pretending to be me. Like when you're looking into the mirror and whatever you do, mirror does the same thing, right? So when I'm listening to my mind, I feel the same thing happening. Like something is reflected back to me. And then I feel like I cannot find myself and I become lost. So I try to concentrate and that doesn't help me either. Then I try to go to my body and try to feel the sensations and try to locate myself as an observer. But also then when I'm doing it, I feel like I am the body. So every time when I'm concentrating on something, it becomes me. Then I don't find myself as the consciousness in anywhere. So I don't know how to fix this.
You are trying too hard. You're trying too hard. Just relax. Let things be. Don't try to find yourself. You already are yourself. In this moment, you are. Irrespective of what's appearing to you, irrespective of whatever thoughts may be appearing to you, you are. Rest, relax, without knowing, without direction, without intention. Just allow things to be. Remain still, but not with effort, because effort does not mean remaining still, right? So it's a sort of a relaxation. It's a sort of relaxation. And when we are relaxed, we're not arguing, with how things are. Like you sit in a cafe, you're relaxed, and the person brings you a cup of tea. Then you say, thank you. You're relaxed. Things are happening. Thoughts, sensations, memories. Remain relaxed. More of a non-doing. So explore non-doing. Explore being. Just to be. Not to be succeeding at the meditation or not being able to get the right meditation. No, just being. Being that doesn't give a darn about the meditation, the good meditation, the bad meditation, just seeing myself appearing. I don't know whether I'm here or there. And who cares? Just simply be. Relax into being. Because the mind will relax when you decide to relax. Not when the mind decides to relax, you relax. No. When you decide to relax, the mind relaxes. You don't need to get your guidance from the mind or from the thoughts or from the sensations. Take your guidance from being. You follow what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, but every time I'm relaxing, I fall asleep, and then I feel like I didn't do anything and I couldn't achieve it again. So
Very good.
I think my mind is like, I'm trying to achieve it too hard. Then when I relax, I become really upset that I didn't do anything and I didn't achieve.
All right. So you're interested in achieving, and you're interested in maybe becoming a spiritual saint. I don't know.
I just want to be really relaxed and happy because
Yes.
I'm a really anxious person in my daily life too. So because I realize that I am identified too much with my mind, I get lost in my mind a lot. So it's really stressful to live in this mind and body. So I'm just really try to find an escape and be free. But then my mind again is like really trying too hard. And I also can see that, but I don't know how to break free from this pattern.
Right. You can't find freedom via thinking or via activity. No, it's more of a deactivity. It's more the opposite direction. It's not the direction of doing. It's more the direction of letting go. More letting go. Notice some tendencies within yourself. These tendencies can change. Don't be so fixed about how I am. I am like this, I am like that. Okay, but this can change by letting go. The more you let go, the less things you have to do. The less things you have to do, the more freedom you have. The more freedom you have, the more happy you are. We all love freedom.
Yes.
So let go. More and more let go. And things will change in your life. Your life where you have to do things and achieve things. the more you let go, the more in your life you also will find that, oh, things are happening without my need to be so active.
Yes, but I want to tell one more thing. I started my journey, I can say 7 years ago. That time I was a teenager and I was really into meditating a lot, but then I realized I became really passive. I was all the time very relaxed and detached from life. So I become to be very like peaceful, but at the same time, I wasn't achieving or doing anything. I was a bit dull, I can say. So then I thought to myself, like I should meditate, but I shouldn't be this passive because I didn't, it didn't feel right because I wasn't living my life. I was just in the state of letting go, really. It continued for 3 years, and then I decided I shouldn't meditate again. So I let go. I didn't meditate for about 2 years. I didn't do anything. But then in my life, I didn't feel at peace and I was stressed even more and I didn't feel safe because I was too identified, I guess. Then I started to do meditating again, but this time I am really just feeling lost because I don't want to be too passive again. Just for me, I am too active or too inactive. Like I just can't find the balance, I think.
Right. So like there is an inner passivity and an outer activity. Like the ocean, if you go down into the ocean, there are no waves. But yet at the surface of the ocean, there are waves. So there is activity. The world is happening, things you need to do, people you need to relate to. All of that is at the surface. It doesn't disturb the passivity. So they're not two opposite things. You meditate in order to come to an understanding about the peace, about the inner peace. You're not meditating in order to achieve something. You're meditating. Meditation reveals the peace, the stillness, the quiet, inner quiet. But there is also life. There's also activity. It's a mistake to overlook the world, body, mind and favor peace and stillness. Peace and stillness is not disturbed by activity. Life is for us to live it. There is fun, there is surprise, there are events that happen, there is a celebration in life, there is the exploration in life. But the meditation is about the revelation of that which you are, that is not disturbed by life, is not disturbed by events in the world or events in the body. So you need to cultivate both the inner peace and peaceful action. Operating in the world in relationship with your family, with your friends, with work, at work, in the world, in a harmonious way. And things in the world will unfold the way they will unfold. You do your best. You don't go back and regret and, oh my God, I shouldn't have. No, you do your best. You're always moving forward. You're always in the moment, living in the moment. You learn. You learn about your past mistakes. Okay, you learn for the future. You're not going to go back into the past and try to fix something. Of course, sometimes you send maybe a letter, I'm sorry, if I hurt your feelings, whatever. But yeah, we can do that. But we don't live in the past. We learn and we grow. That's on the surface. That's the movement. That's the activity. But inwardly, there is peace. So it's very important to cultivate the inward peace so that you can live, you can interact inspired by that inward peace, you see, rather than just be caught up in the mind, the conditioned mind about, oh, I have to defend this, protect that, argue with this, win that, make sure my family, my kids get better, succeed, all these conditioning, the conditioning of the mind does not know the peace. We are not educated or brought up to learn anything about peace and happiness. We are brought up to become somebody, to succeed. We are strictly mind, our conditioning. But there is no peace in mind. There were a lot of pressures and worries and concerns in mind. So it's important, as of course you've been doing it for a few years now, to cultivate the peace. And don't define yourself. Don't box yourself. I am like this, I am like that. Because you are a work in progress. We're constantly learning, growing, maturing, realizing things. Be available for things to unfold more and more harmoniously. Why? Because this is what you love. You love peace and harmony for yourself and for others, right? I mean, this is what every truth lover cherishes. We cherish peace and happiness, and we understand that peace and happiness is for everybody, including myself, of course. So explore the balance between inner peace and activity. It is possible for you to be active in the world from a place of peace and harmony, not trying to project anything onto anybody, but an inner equanimity. So the tendencies of striving, our conditioned tendencies, whichever they are, they will arise. But we're not interested in maintaining our conditioned mind. Nor are we interested in fighting it. No, we're just not interested in living just the conditioning of the past over and over. We're interested in a new direction. Above all, we're interested in peace and happiness. And we're interested in our mind coming on board with peace and happiness and living, not being passive, living. It's a work in progress, but living inspired by our interest and our love for peace and happiness.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you and talk with you.